Celebrating 18 years, Tee It Up continues to bring you fresh inside the ropes reporting and one-on-ones with Hollywood's most passionate golfers. So stay in the know with the Tee It Up Show, Sunday morning 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on CRN, Digital Talk Radio.
Catch the gang from Tee It Up on CRN1 Sundays 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Everybody's talking at me.
Welcome back to hour number 2 with Talkback with Chuck Wilder. This is Steve Sanchez guest hosting the show today. It's been great to be here, Los Angeles, right here at the CRN Digital Talk Radio studios. It's been a lot of fun. I want to go ahead and give you a number to call because I want you to weigh in this next hour on anything that's on your mind with what's going on right now culturally and in America. 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. Weigh in on the conversation. You can check us out at crntalk.com. There you can listen live or you can watch us live with the video cam. You can follow yours truly by going to Twitter and following me at Real Raw Talk. And if you want to catch my show on the weekends here at CRN, you can go to the SteveSanchezShow.com website. You can find more information there, and you can become a friend on Facebook because daily we're posting information that keeps you in the know. And let's just be honest, today in America, we need to be in the know. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, I'm absolutely right. So here's the deal. Before we actually get into our next segment, because I want to talk about gun control, I want to talk about some things that I know are basically going to be on this president's mouth more so now than ever, and on this administration's mouth, this Congress's mouth, and it's gun control and taking more of your rights. So let's go ahead and first go to Anastasia holding in Arizona. Anastasia, welcome to the program.
Hi. Wow. I'm so excited to talk with you.
Well, thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, I was just listening to the show, and I just really, really like what you have to say. You are a no-nonsense guy, and I'm watching it here in Arizona, so I can see you. I know I can't wave to you or anything, but I can see you, and it's awesome. Thank you so much. You should be on all the time out there.
I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you weighing in, and I'm waving to you now on the cam. So awesome. Well, Anastasia, I appreciate you weighing in. Thanks for the call. Have a great week. We've also have Carl in Indianapolis holding. Carl, welcome to the program.
Hi, Steve.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I wanted to call. I call into Chuck quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
In regard, Jim DeMint put out a response to the immigration bill and the insanity in Boston, and right away, this is where the Republicans get themselves from right off the bat on the wrong foot. He made a statement that America is a nation of immigrants. We're not a nation of immigrants. We're a nation of Americans. The founding fathers, the Pilgrims, and the first generation who fought for independence, they were not immigrants. They were settlers. They defined the culture from which the politics, our politics is downstream from culture. They defined the culture from which everything else flowed, the Constitution and all of our political establishment came from.
Right.
And the point where it relates to Boston is we have this rhetoric that immigrants provide diversity, and diversity makes us richer. No, the way immigrants contribute to our society is by ensuring that their offspring become Americans and identify as American citizens.
Right. I'm glad you said that because I'll tell you something, Carl. I'm Hispanic, I'm a conservative, and my parents insisted growing up that we spoke English only. My dad would say, look, this is America, and in America it is English only, and that is who we are going to be. And today what's happened is that's changed. You're like, no, you know what, English, okay, we can. Look, I'm not a racist. I'm a Hispanic, so how can I be a racist? Here's the deal. And here's what I believe with that. And let me address the immigrant question. yes, I can see where they're going with, yes, immigrants, because Ellis Island, and I get all that. And I think what we are is we're a nation of immigrants, but we're also a nation of Americans that basically came from a lineage of the settlers that first put their feet here off of the Mayflower, and we became what is known as the greatest country in the world, and we have lost our roots for some reason, Carl. Schools and politics want to rewrite history. Like, we have to apologize for something in terms of who we are and what our vision is. And Carl, I do appreciate you weighing in. Thanks.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
You know, my grandparents, my paternal grandparents came from Sicily, and my dad just recently was able to go to Washington on the honor flight. He was a World War II and Korea veteran. And the point being that now you have these brothers, these two Chechen killers. Chechnya is notorious for being a very criminal state,
right.
Bandit culture. You know, you look at Sicily. Well, you know, Sicily is poor for so long because you had a criminal class basically running things, and it took over 100 years for Italy to become a country again.
Right.
And finally having rule of law, and finally really getting the upper hand against the criminal culture. The Caucasus have the same situation, but what's not talked about is when Sicilians came here, even the criminal class, there were very powerful. The rule of law, or of course, our law enforcement was a big factor, but you also had the enormous influence of the Catholic Church. And the FBI did numerous studies on why the Sicilian mafia fell apart, and the point was, even the worst murderous psychopath gangsters, Sicilians, they tended to marry within the Catholic Church. They tended to marry nice Sicilian girls or nice Italian girls, and over time, the worst kind of alpha dog. Well, you know, it's made of satirically. It's made of. It's pointed out in you know, you watch something like The Sopranos, where
right.
Tony goes out and kills somebody, and next thing you know, his wife's calling. Oh, do you know what Junior did at school today? You got to show up and be a good parent. You know,
right.
and you know, there's nothing. The problem with the Chechens, and this is the problem that Russia has, you combine a really ruthless criminal state with Islam.
And Islam has perpetrated themselves there. And let's just be honest. And again, and Carl, I have to go to break here soon, so appreciate your call. But here's the deal, Carl, and you're making a lot of sense in what you're saying, and I get it. Islam and cells of this radical Muslim mindset is showing up everywhere, not just in Russia. It's here in America. It's across the globe. It's one of the fastest growing religions. And I want to be clear, you know, I'm not talking about all Muslim people. I mean, let's just be honest. Okay, I'm talking about the radical Islamists that have hijacked the Muslim faith. That's what they've done. They've hijacked the Muslim faith. And if I was a Muslim, I'd be angry that my faith has been hijacked by this radical ideology that says it's okay to kill children in the name of Allah. Let's just be honest. Okay, a lot of people don't want to say it. I'm going to say it because it's the truth. And I'd like to hear from you, America. Weigh in on the conversation at 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. This is Steve Sanchez, and I am guest hosting the Talkback with Chuck Wilder program right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. You can check us out at crntalk.com. You can check us out and listen live. You can actually watch us live. And if you want more information on yours truly, you can visit the SteveSanchezShow.com website, and you can catch me live on the weekends here on CRN. Look, these issues are not easy. In fact, they're extremely difficult. They're extremely sensitive. But what I don't like is we go off on this politically correct mantra, and we don't want to call what we see. And again, these two terrorists, in the name of the radical Islamist, Muslim, jihadist mindset, perpetrated this evil. Period. We can't be so politically correct and say that's not what happened. And if you have a problem and you don't think that's the truth, then you go tell the parents of that 8-year-old little boy that was killed, the other 2 people that were killed, and the 260 that were injured and maimed. The MIT police officer. You tell their families that you want to be politically correct. Yeah, I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so. So what's happening now? Well, I'll tell you what's happening now. This is an open door to further government control, most notably gun control. And gun control now is going to be challenged with a fury. I mean, we've been having the gun control conversation now for weeks and weeks and weeks, but it's going to be even more of a conversation because, let's just be honest, the government wants to take your guns. It's real simple. And last time I checked, we are still a country that operates under the blueprint of America, which is the Constitution. And the Constitution says we have a Second Amendment right. But, you know, the gun control advocates will basically say, well, yeah, the Second Amendment right, yes, it's there, but it's not giving you a right, Steve, to have assault rifles. It's not giving you a right, Steve, to have semi-automatics. That's just the start. They start modifying certain types of guns, then they're going to modify all guns. Let's just be honest. Are you going to defend your family with a frying pan? Someone breaks into your house, are you going to defend your family under the bed with a frying pan? Or would you rather have a revolver or a shotgun in your home? It's pretty common sense. It's simple. I mean, it's pretty elementary stuff. And then you've got celebrities coming out now saying, oh, my goodness, you know, we got to control the guns. And, you know, many of these celebrities like Matt Damon made their living like on the Bourne Legacy and actually being a gun toter, a spy. Millions of dollars. What a hypocrite. Hollywood is putting out so much hypocritical propaganda. They make movies about guns and semi-automatics, but yet the actors basically say, oh, no, it's terrible. What a hypocrite Matt Damon is. And then you have Jay Moore coming out, basically saying, oh, we've got to really do a better job now on gun control. You know, it's easy for you to say when you have bodyguards. It's easy for you to say when you've got incredible security in your home. How about the everyday, ordinary Mr. and Mrs. American that have 2 children and want to protect their house? What are they going to do? Use a water pistol? They're going to use a frying pan if someone breaks into their house? It's time that we get intellectually honest on this conversation. What do you think? Where are you at on the gun control issue? Where are you at on the issues of the day? I'd like to know. Give us a call. Weigh in on the conversation. You can do so by calling 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call here live at the CRN Digital Talk Radio Studios. I'm Steve Sanchez, guest hosting Chuck Wilder's Talkback program. It's been an honor and a privilege to be here. If you like more about me and you would like more of this real, raw, relevant talk, you can catch my show live on the weekends here on CRN Digital Talk. And you can find a station near you by going to the SteveSanchezShow.com website. You can follow me on Twitter at Real Raw Talk. I want to challenge and engage and empower America to not look so much to the political ideology of the Democrats or the Republicans. I want you to look at intelligent ideology, common sense ideology. What made this country great? What has happened? Have we been drinking the Kool-Aid for so long that we can't see or remember what made this country great? This country was not made great by continued control, by drones, by spying. This country was not made great by trying to redefine traditional marriage. This country was not made great by being so politically correct that you can't call what a situation is because you don't want to offend anybody. Is this where we're at today in the new entitlement Obama phone America? Is that where we're at today? Yeah, I believe it is. I believe it absolutely is. And then I'm reading that Bush and Obama have such a great friendship. You want to know why? Because they're both globalists, and I believe they're under the New World Order. There, I said it. You probably don't want to hear it, but I said it. All right, that's the music. We've got to go pay some bills now. We'll catch you on the other side.
How do you feel? Where are your views on what you're hearing? Give us a call and share them with us at CRN Digital Talk. It's toll-free from anywhere in the USA. 1-800-336-2225. Again, that toll-free number, 1-800-336-2225. Join us today on CRN Digital Talk. We're here for you. 1-800-336-2225.
It's a fact. You can make thousands of dollars flipping houses. Discover the secret house flipping formula from Dave and Pete, the stars of A&E's #1 hit show, Flipping Boston, for free.
Hi, it's Pete and Dave. We're giving you our flipping formula for free. It's what we use to find the right house, flip it fast, and get paid.
It's time to stop just talking about flipping houses and start doing it. Now is one of the best times in history. USA Today reported that you can make thousands of dollars in profit flipping houses.
In New York City, the average profit was over $118 grand. Omaha, it's over $71,000. Lake Havasu, Arizona, the profit per flip was $87,000.
And we're going to show you how we do it for free. Stop dreaming. The houses are there. The opportunity will never be better. And for a limited time, the flipping formula is free.
Call now, 800-326-1740 for your free Flipping Formula Strategy Guide DVDs. Just pay processing. That's 800-326-1740. 800-326-1740.
Hey folks, Jay Farner here, president of Quicken Loans. We're thrilled to have helped over 125,000 homeowners save money by refinancing with HARP, the government's home affordable refinance program. But there are millions more of you who could be saving big money on your home loans by getting HARPed. And now Quicken Loans has made getting HARPed even easier with our amazing Get HARP tool right on our homepage. Log on to QuickenLoans.com and click on the Get HARP tool. Simply give us some basic information and how you'd like us to contact you via phone or email, and we'll let you know if you're eligible for HARP within 1 hour. Listen closely. If your current home loan is higher than 3.99%, or if your home is lost value and you're underwater, we may be able to help you get HARPed and start saving with a lower rate. Log on to QuickenLoans.com today and click on the Get HARP tool and find out if you're eligible. The Quicken Loans Get HARP tool. It's one more way we're engineered to amaze.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
It's the big names. It's the big stories. It's what everybody is talking about. And you got it right here with Bill Martinez Live.
The Republican leadership on Capitol Hill gave the president a hall pass on debt ceiling. He gave him a hall pass by passing continuing resolutions. They basically allowed the Senate to ignore the House of Representatives. Everything's coming to fruition now with a new 4 years for President Obama.
Join us every Monday through Friday morning, 9 to 11 Eastern Time, right here on CRN Digital Talk.
Everybody's talking at me.
Welcome back to Talkback with Chuck Wilder. This is Steve Sanchez guest hosting today here at the CRN Digital Talk radio studios. You can check us out at crntalk.com. There you can listen live and you can watch live. And if you want more information on yours truly, you can catch me at the stevesanchezshow.com website. There you can follow me on Twitter at Real Raw Talk. And you can catch my live weekend program right here at CRN Digital Talk Radio, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want to make sure you catch that program because we bring you real, raw, relevant talk. Give us a call, weigh in on the conversation. You can do so by calling 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind right now here on the Talk Back program with Chuck Wilder. We went to break. We were talking about gun control, and we're talking about what's changing in America. And you know what I don't hear a lot about is jobs. I mean, I keep hearing about gun control. How about, Mr. President, the jobs? How about jobs? How about this economy getting back on a firm footing? I mean, we're still at about 8% in terms of unemployment. Is that where we're going to stay? I mean, do you think this is where we're going to stay now in America, that we've gotten comfortable with all the unemployment, we've got comfortable with being on food stamps, we've got comfortable with all these extended unemployment benefits, we've become comfortable to be an entitlement mindset society. I mean, my goodness, you can get an Obama phone, you can get this, you can get that. Is this America's best? Is this where we're supposed to be in America? Is this what our framers, is this what our founders envisioned for America? No, absolutely not. You know that. But why is it happening? Why is it unfolding before our very eyes? You know, when we went to break, I was talking about how George W. Bush and President Obama are great buddies and they have a mutual respect for each other, and I understand that. You know, presidents are going to have that respect. But let's just be honest. I mean, they're not that far off the mark. I mean, they're both globalists. I mean, we've had a globalist presidency for years. I mean, I think Ronald Reagan was the last true American grassroots conservative president. I mean, here we had George Bush Sr., who was a New World Order guy, said it on the floor of Congress. Then we have Bill Clinton, another New World Order guy. And then we had George W. Bush, another New World Order guy. And then we had President Obama, a New World Order guy. I mean, let's just be honest. We're dealing with globalist thinking, socialist thinking. And that doesn't work in America. If we're going to follow a model like England, 65% income tax rate, they've taken all their guns, but yet violent crime is still on the rise because people will use stones, rocks, hammers, baseball bats. That's the best. That is the model. Isn't that the model we broke away from? Isn't that the model that we broke away from that actually started the Revolution War? But yet we want to go back to that socialist utopia model? Are you kidding me? But it looks like that's where we're going. And I'm shocked because I scratch my head and I sit back and I think, how did we reelect an open socialist? I mean, let's just be honest. President Obama's not a liberal. I mean, Hillary Clinton's a liberal. Bill Clinton's a liberal. He's not a liberal. He's a socialist. I mean, he said it in his book, Audacity of Hope. And stop with the race thing. This has nothing to do with race. I'm a Hispanic. So stop with the race thing already. Okay? I mean, that doesn't work for me and doesn't work on me. I look at the integrity and character of one's ideals, ideology, and their policies that they put in place. And I'm not liking what I see. And you're going to sit there and intelligently say you like where we're at today? You like that we're reducing our nuclear capacity? You like that we're sending billions of dollars to the Muslim Brotherhood? You like that? You're going to tell me that our president goes to a fundraiser for Planned Parenthood, the largest abortion slaughterhouse in America, but yet he will not go to a wounded soldier's bedside. There's something wrong with that picture. There's something wrong with that. And I know you may not like that. It may offend you. Well, too bad. It's the truth. It is the truth. And I think we have a hard time swallowing the truth today. It's very difficult. Because when we claim truth and we speak truth, we're called radical, we're called intolerant, we're called this, we're called that, instead of what we're really supposed to be called, and that's just a truth teller. I mean, I see things for what they are, don't you? And I'm not liking where we're at. Now, trust me, we are still the greatest country on the face of God's earth. But we've got a perspective problem, and we've got to get that fixed. What are we teaching our younger generation? I mean, they're following our footsteps. We're laying out a blueprint for their future thinking. Doesn't that concern you? It concerns me. Give us a call. 1-800-336-2225. This is Steve Sanchez sitting in for Chuck Wilder on the Talkback program at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
Try Fry Vineyards, the Mendocino County organic wine with no sulfites added from America's pioneering organic winery. Fry Wine, the first maker of certified biodynamic wines in the United States. At Fry Wines, our emphasis is on producing organic wine of the highest quality while caring for our planet and palate alike. Check out our website at frywine.com and join the Fry Vineyards Wine Club. You'll receive 20% off all orders and much more. Plus, you can check out our internet-only specials. And go to our crntalk.com website or the frywine.com website and check out Chef Piero's Recipe of the Week. Great biodynamic wines from Redwood Valley in Mendocino County, California. Fry Wines. Go to frywine.com. That's FREYWINE. Frywine.com. Check it out and enjoy great wines at your home tonight.
CRN listeners, keep up to date with all the latest food, wine, restaurant, and travel news on the What's Cooking Show. We'll talk to celebrity chefs, restaurateurs, travel experts, winemakers, and so much more. Catch recipes, travel deals, and the who's who for all you foodies out there. Tune in live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, and video streaming live at crntalk.com. That's the What's Cooking Show. You won't want to miss it.
Do you own a car you no longer want and you don't have the time or energy to sell it? Donate your car to Heritage for the Blind. Your donation is tax deductible and your car will be towed away for free. Call 800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, trucks, vans, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. Call now. Your donation will help those in need. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call now to donate your car. And as a special thank you, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 800-785-9618. Donating is easy. It's tax deductible, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher by donating. Call 800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
SwissAmerica.com reports gold prices rose again above $1,400 Friday amid bargain hunting and strong demand. Gold last traded at $1,404, silver $23.26. So gold prices rose for a fourth day on Friday, but ended the week down 6%. Demand for physical gold has been growing ever since the speculative sell-off last Friday and Monday set prices back more than $200 an ounce. But in life and markets, you can't keep a good man or metal down for long. You see, the financial media know the real reason for the drop in prices. They just don't want you to. Truth is, there's no reason gold should be declining, reports Motley Fool. Swiss America is pleased to announce starting next Monday, Nicole Lorenzi will take over as editor for our Gold Standard Daily News as I turn my attention to developing new relationships to broadcast our message of financial preparedness even further. Read more about it at SwissAmerica.com. Get your copy of The Simple Truth, 800-630-2167. 800-630-2167.
Hey, this is Steve Sanchez. I want you to join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as I bring you real, raw, relevant truth. My show is the alternative to the alternative media, and we'll discuss culture, politics, and info that keeps you in the know right here on CRN Digital Talk. Follow me on Twitter at Real Raw Talk and be part of the Triple R Brigade, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Everybody's talking at me.
Welcome back. This is Steve Sanchez sitting in for Chuck Wilder on the Talkback program at CRN Digital Talk Radio. You can give us a call and weigh in on the conversation today by dialing 1-800-336-2225, 1-800-336-2225. You can also go to crntalk.com. There you can listen live, and you can check us out on the video cam. I want you to do that right now. I drop everything. This is too important to not listen and be part of this conversation today. 1-800-336-2225. We went to break. We were talking a little bit about the political mindset and just the mindset in America. And, you know, obviously our leaders play a big role in this. I mean, obviously, we look up to our politicians. At least we were supposed to at one time. Remember there was a time when politicians were statesmen, and we looked up, and there was this high degree of integrity. Where's that gone? I don't know, but I'll tell you a couple things that concern me. Number one, Governor O'Malley of Maryland is wanting to run in 2016, and he's wanting to run on a more liberal agenda. more higher taxes, same-sex marriage, the continuation of an entitlement mindset in America. That's Governor O'Malley, and he wants to run as the Democratic candidate in 2016. So you make sure that you mark that down so you know who to pay attention to and who not to pay attention to. Here's another politician. This blows my mind. Anthony Weiner. Remember Anthony Weiner? I'm sure you remember him. He's the disgraced congressman with the nude pics. Remember that? He on Twitter, and he didn't do them, and then he did, and he resigned in disgrace. Well, now Anthony Weiner is wanting to run for mayor of New York. God help the Big Apple. Why on? And I mean, look, and he's not even embarrassed. In fact, he just basically said that, hey, I'm not sure if there's any more nude pics of me out there. I'm just not sure about it. But here's the guy that wants to run for mayor of New York and follow the inept Mayor Bloomberg. And both of these guys put together will never be a Rudy Giuliani. I mean, let's just be honest. How can we isn't Anthony Weiner embarrassed? Shouldn't he just stay out of politics for a while? Well, Steve, he made a mistake. Where's your grace and mercy? Hey, I forgive him. We've all made mistakes. I've got a whole laundry list of mistakes I've made. But yet, I think there is nobility in honor and certain types of office that we hold. And I believe that's what's happened in America. We have forgotten. We've become so desensitized because Hollywood puts out this garbage and tells us this is the way things are to be, here's the way it's supposed to be, and we believe that. And now we're in this position where we're at, where nothing is sacred anymore. There's no honor. There's no integrity. Why? Where have we gone? Why are we here? I hope the good citizens of New York City wake up and pay attention. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they elect this guy. I wouldn't be surprised. Anthony Weiner. I'm just shocked. What a last name, right? I mean, let's just be honest. What a last name. Oh, my gosh. I guess there was a lot of teasing going on when he was in school. I mean, think about it. Give us a call. Weigh in. 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. We keep talking about what has gone on in Boston and just the state of affairs we're in America today, in the world globally. And it seems that there's a problem with wanting to call these terrorist suspects what they were, radical Islamists. But we don't have a problem to throw Christianity under the bus. Have you noticed that? That Christianity, there's no embarrassment in throwing Christianity under the bus. In fact, we had a caller in the last hour that basically was trying to compare the two. You remember that call? Out of Boston, I believe. It bothers me. It bothers me that the largest religious group in America, Christianity, is thrown under the bus, and no one has a problem with that. There was a kid in Florida where the professor actually had the class write Jesus on a piece of paper and then put it on the ground and stomp on it. And that was okay. You can do that. But talk about the Quran and talk about radical Islamists, and oh boy, are you a hate bigot. Why is that? In fact, Chuck Hagel is being asked that very thing. Chuck Hagel, first off, had no business becoming Secretary of Defense. Did you watch that hearing? Oh my God, I felt sorry for the guy. The guy looked like he just woke up from a time zone, but yet he's Secretary of Defense. And you know where his views are on Israel. But yet he's Secretary of Defense. Obama knew what he was doing. I mean, he's a Republican. So Obama said, look, I'm going to keep the Republicans and the conservatives happy, so I'm going to bring Chuck Hagel in, which everybody knows is a bozo. And this guy has some nutty thinking. I mean, again, at the hearings, the confirmation hearings, he looked foolish. Didn't even know. Yeah, I think. Okay, wait. Oh, my assistant's telling me. Okay, I got a note. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, what day is this? Oh, is this really 2012? Oh, okay. I didn't. Come on. But now he's Secretary of Defense. So they're challenging him and saying, hey, Secretary of Defense Hagel, why is the Army being allowed to throw Christianity under the bus? Why is that? Why are Christians in the military being taunted and ridiculed? I think Chuck Hagel will get back to them in a couple months when someone writes it out for him on some paper and he memorizes it. Because I don't think he even knew. I think he just woke up from a nap when he was asked that question, to tell you the truth. Why is that, though? Again, there's my question. Why is it that when it comes to the largest religious group really on the planet. It's so readily and easily thrown under the bus, but yet when we discuss a radical faith that believes that the more they kill, the more they maim, there is a higher benefit waiting for them in heaven. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. I mean, this is not easy stuff to talk about, but someone needs to talk about it nevertheless, because it is what it is. And I think there's the problem right now in America is that we don't talk about this. We want to be sensitive to everybody and you know, hey, I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to tell it like it is. And I think you feel the same way. But yet you don't want to look like you're not tolerant. It has nothing to do with tolerance. Hey, man, people are people are people. I'm talking about a segment of radical thinking that needs to be addressed. If we're going to sit back and pretend that there's not a war on terror still continuing to happen right now in America, we're sleeping at the wheel, people. And that brings up the question, were these bombers working alone? Or do you think that they were funded by someone? And if so, who? Do you think that there's cells continuing to be waiting right now, patiently, for the next tragedy? Scary stuff. We've got to take it very seriously. So, you know, here's the drone thing. You know, here's where drones come in. And, you know, we're talking about drones and, you know, should we, shouldn't we? And Rand Paul just a few weeks ago was absolutely, I mean, he filibustered on the floor of Congress and was like, hey, you know what? I mean, let's just be honest. Now he's kind of changing his mind on drones. There's some amendments that could be made on the use of drones. I understand the use of drones. I understand the logic of why we need drones. But do we really, really need drones? Do we really need someone in our business? Or are we just in a place today in the world where all the rules have changed, things are different, and we need to go down a different road to protect the American people and to protect people in general around the planet? I'd like to know. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call. 1-800-336-2225 is how you weigh in here on the Talkback program with Chuck Wilder. This is Steve Sanchez sitting in for Chuck while he's away. He'll be back soon. Give us a call. You can follow me personally, Steve Sanchez, on Twitter at Real Raw Talk. I'd like you to do that. Be part of the Triple R Brigade at Real Raw Talk. I know we sit back and we think about this, and we think about, wow, we are in a place today where we may have to go down other roads that we never thought we would ever go down. And this drone thing, scary when you think about it. I don't like it. I think we have other technologies that we can utilize, but I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I understand the argument behind it. I understand the logic behind it. But does that allow an open door to the most intrusive behavior that the government will have over us? I mean, Bible prophecy has talked about what's happening. Where are we at? How do we handle this? How do we, as normal, ordinary, everyday Mr. and Mrs. American citizen, engage in this conversation? Because trust me, we need to. And we need to let our politicians know that we're educated enough to make decisions without Big Brother and Big Sis. And talking about Big Sis, Janet Napolitano. I know a little bit about Janet Napolitano, being that I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And that's where my flagship is at KXXT, AM 1010 in Phoenix. Janet Napolitano made a mess as governor in the state of Arizona. It's still being cleaned up today by Governor Jan Brewer. And now she's making a bigger mess as Homeland Security Chief. A lot of questions that need to be asked that she's not answering, and she's lied. She's talked about the security of the borders in Arizona. I mean, and here's the deal. She was, I mean, when basically she was asked to be the Homeland Security Chief, we rejoiced in Arizona because we're getting rid of her. But then there was a little bit of a sadness saying, oh my gosh, America, She's going to do to us what she's done here in Arizona, which was a major debt problem, unsecured borders. I mean, this is the woman that basically made sure that the Christmas tree that was lit every year at the state capitol was no longer called a Christmas tree. It was called a holiday tree. And it had to be called a holiday tree. These are the people that run America today. These are the people that run America. And we still have a voice. We absolutely have a voice. It's just time that we lift it, and we lift it loudly. It's not easy. Don't be one of those that basically sits back and waits for someone else to do it, or waits for someone else to get in the conversation. That doesn't work. Trust me. Elections have consequences, and we're facing some severe ones today by re-electing this naked Marxist who now occupies 1600 Pennsylvania Street. And I'd like to hear from you. Give us a call and weigh in on the conversation at 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. I sit back and I look and I think, and I'm wondering that we're only halfway through the first year of this president's second term. We've got 3 more years to go. What is that going to look like? We've got Obamacare kicking in. We've got the talk of higher taxes, taking the guns, same-sex marriage. We've got problems right now. And I look at the Republican Party today, and I'm disappointed in them because they were the true champions at what time of conservatism, and they're not anymore. I mean, the Republicans today are the liberals of yesteryear, and the Democrats today are the socialists. I mean, that's really the way I view the parties. How do you view them? I view them that way. I believe today we need to be independent, and we need to think independently and intelligently. And if I had any say in it, I would get rid of both major parties, be done with them. Be done with the gangster shenanigans and allow the people to govern, because we are supposed to be governing America. They work for us. We've forgotten that. It's not taught in schools anymore. Schools aren't talking about this. Schools are trying to rewrite history. That's the problem. We have got to start talking about truths. We have to not be embarrassed of our history. We have to embrace our history, good, bad, or indifferent. We have to be able to do that. If we don't do that, then we've already lost. And before you know it, we're going to be a third world country. I mean, it's just really where we're going to go. $17 trillion in debt. And there's going to be more debt added once Obamacare kicks in, even though the president said there would be no more debt. They're talking about $6 trillion in debt added to the $17 trillion in debt already. How are we going to pay for this? It's unfortunate, but our taxes are going to probably go up to 60 or 70%. And we are going to live in a nice little socialist utopia. No guns. So if someone breaks into your house, you use a frying pan or a baseball bat. Police state already secretly being put together. You know that, and I know that. It's just not talked about it. The mainstream media is certainly not going to talk about it, so you have to go to the alternative media. And these are things that we think about every day of our lives, but then we get busy because the bills stack up, and the kids have to go to college. And we've got things we have to do in the business and the career, and we get busy, and the government knows that. And I believe they continue to put stumbling blocks in front of you, Mr. and Mrs. America, so that you are so busy and engaged in your own problems that you aren't aware of the problems around you that this government is perpetrating here and around the world. I mean, what happened in North Korea? That was the biggest thing on everybody's mind before the Boston issue. Where's North Korea at now? Are they still going to launch a nuclear attack? Isn't something fishy somewhere? Something doesn't make sense somewhere. And we have to ask ourselves that. Why are we at, right now in America, where we're at? Something doesn't make sense. And many of us don't pay attention. We wait for the sound bites on the news, or we wait for the little blurb on the internet online newspaper. And we don't do our own homework. We don't engage. We don't educate ourselves to make a difference, to make different decisions, and we have to do that. We have to be willing to do that. Trust me, America, we have a bigger voice than you could ever imagine. But there has to be a uniter and not a divider, and President Obama is not a uniter. You know that, and I know that. All right, give us a call, 1-800-336-2225. Weigh in on the conversation. Check us out at crntalk.com, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Whether it's a serious fall, fire danger, or other type of home emergency, Life Alert is there for you. The company with its slogan, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up," protects its members. Here are some of them.
When you have a heart attack like I did and there's no one there, Life Alert was there for me.
Having a secure feeling through Life Alert is ideal.
My independence is possible because of it.
Now, Life Alert can also protect you in a fire emergency with a system that automatically notifies our monitoring center.
Thanks to Life Alert, you can live alone without ever being alone.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-814-4041. That's 1-800-814-4041. Call now, 1-800-814-4041. For a free brochure, call 1-800-814-4041. 1-800-814-4041.
Ba, black sheep. Have you any wool? No, sir, no, sir. Some nincompoop with pantyhose pulled over his face stole all my wool sweaters and gaming system. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency recently helped me with renter's insurance. Everything stolen was replaced, and the little boy who lives down the lane was caught trying to sell it online. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science system features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitized delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
With an industry-leading distribution network, Grainger can save you tons of downtime by offering over 900,000 products, many ready to ship right when you need them. In fact, 99% of items ordered ship same day. So fast, the International Acronym Committee is considering changing ASAP to ASAG for as soon as Grainger. At least they would be considering it if there were such a committee. To help keep your business running efficiently, call clickgrainger.com or stop by a branch today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everybody's talking at me.
Welcome back. Steve Sanchez sitting in for Chuck Wilder on the Talkback program. It's been a great program today. It's been fun being out here in Los Angeles. Got a lot of media stuff to do this week. But if you want more of yours truly, you can listen to my show live weekends right here on CRN. And you can do that by going to crntalk.com. We are live every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to find a radio station near you, you can go to the SteveSanchezShow.com website. There you can look at our affiliate list. You can check us out on cable access. And there is a lot of ways to get in the know with the Steve Sanchez Show. But if you'd like to weigh in today on the Chuck Wilder Talkback program, you can give us a call at 1-800 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call. We were talking about control, intrusion, and specifically gun control. And I'll tell you, here's my point, and I'm proving it with this next story. GE Capital is quietly cutting off lending to gun shops. Why would they do that? What's the purpose and reason behind that? Do you understand how the financial markets control society? Think about that for a moment. Wall Street and politics are in bed. We know that. And if we don't know that, well, I'm telling you, you've been sleeping under a rock, because that's what happens. Wall Street and the gangsters that run it continue to make decisions for you and I, and you may not believe that, but it is true. And with GE Capital saying, hey, you know what? And they're quietly doing this. They're not out there promoting that. They're not out there making a big deal of it. But yes, they are absolutely cutting off lending to gun shops because they want to take your guns and they want all of your guns. They want to control you. That is where we're at in America today in 2013. It is what it is. We may not like it. We may not even want to think about it. We may want to plug our ears and say, no, I don't want to hear this. Is Bible prophecy coming true? Think about that for a moment. I don't say this to put fear in you. Fear is a lie. I say it so that you can educate and empower yourself, because you're still a voice. And trust me, America, we are a united voice if we stay united and we stand up. That's why it's absolutely critical that you don't allow Big Brother and Big Sis, Janet Napolitano, to take your guns. Then we are helpless. The Second Amendment right was really to protect us from our government. If you think about it, from the tyranny. Don't believe me? Go read it. Go educate yourself. We forget that because history has been rewritten every day in the public schools and in the public universities around America. That's what's happening. And our kids are subjected to this brainwashing. So there has to be alternatives out there. We have to give an alternative voice so that people understand and make intelligent decisions. Hey, look, I'm going to be straight with you. I have nothing against liberals. Nothing. I have friends that are liberals. I barbecue with liberals. I just don't want them running the country. And we'll be right back. In fact, I made human error. They're saying, Steve, no, you won't be right back. Give the number one more time. Okay, we'll do that. 1-800-336-2225. 1-800-336-2225. Give us a call. Weigh in on the conversation here at Talkback with Chuck Wilder. This is Steve Sanchez guest hosting. You can follow me on Twitter at Real Raw Talk. At Real Raw Talk, and you can visit the SteveSanchezShow.com website to get more information on me, and you can catch my show weekends here on CRNTalk.com. Now I'm good to go, and we'll be right back.
By now, you know that getting all your favorite CRN programming is easier than ever. It's right on your